Hello, I'm here with the Answer Me This podcast team. We've got Oliver Mann.
Hello.
Helen Zaltzman.
Hello.
And
Martin the sound man. Very good.
Yeah, there we go. So my first question is, in true interview style, how did it all begin and what was the inspiration behind it?
Oh, one of the things we've been trying to work into the show is a kind of funny story about how the whole thing started.
Yeah.
But the truth is, as with so much in real life, it's not really that interesting.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a podcast, I said to Helen, would you like to do a podcast? She
Yeah.
said yes. Yeah. That was pretty much the story.
Yeah, the behind the scenes is just, we'd have to make it up if it was ever dramatised into a film and pretend that there were a lot of trials and tribulations. We had to smuggle some mad artwork to make it happen in order to get a place on iTunes. But actually, it was just, Ollie came up to me at my flat warming party as it was then, and asked if I wanted to do it, and having only ever heard one podcast before, I thought, well, why not? What an odd thing to ask in such a subterfuge manner.
Could you tell us a bit about what your individual roles are in the show?
Well, Ollie and I are co-presenters really, but we go about things in a really different way. So if there's a factual question, it's usually me that does the encyclopedia work.
Yeah. And me that talks about a personal humiliation I've suffered along similar lines.
Ollie has a vast anecdote store. He's always saying, oh, I think I've used up all the anecdotes I've got, and then he'll bring out some extraordinary thing that happened to him when he was 10. Always
a new
another.
anecdote.
And then Martin is the most indispensable one because he's the only one who knows how to work the microphones and the sound card and all that rig.
Yeah, so I do the technical stuff and I do a lot of the music with the Answer Me This players, and I also answer I'm a scientist, so I do answer the technical questions and the science questions.
Do you do quantum physics?
I have a PhD in quantum physics, that's absolutely true.
There's so much I want to ask you, but so little time. But why did you choose the Roundhouse as a venue?
Oh, it was chosen for us. iTunes popped up and said, would you like to do this? We're trying to do podcasts this year in our iTunes festival. And we're like, yeah, of course, obviously. And it happened to be our 100th episode as well, coinciding with the festival.
It was just coincidence.
Very happy.
Fantastic.
And they said to us, do you want to headline on the main stage on Saturday night? And we were like, wow, it's a bit naff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's more for like the electro pop
thing.
Yeah. So. We just thought we'd be better off playing smaller room, 6:30.
Then we can all go home early because we're not young anymore. Martin's 31.
Yeah.
What's been the best question you've been asked, I guess?
I was always a fan of, why is it Humpty Dumpty's always shown as an egg?
Yeah.
Because it never says in the rhyme that he is. I thought I'd never really thought about that before, but especially then it turned out that it might be a reference to an ancient...
Not ancient, 14th century Eastern European prince who had brittle bone syndrome and fell out of his castle.
That's ancient to me, 14th century.
Well, he weren't alive, but that's kind of horrible.
Yeah.
And it was just a riddle. It was like, what do you put on a wall that would break if it fell down? An egg. And you think, well, that doesn't tie up the whole involvement of the king's horses and king's men, and why would you try and put together an egg?
It's obviously a very important egg.
Yeah, why would you send for the cavalry when an egg falls apart?
And it just seems we're at a time when people have such a thirst for knowledge, even more than I ever remember. Just like so many books now, with facts.
Yeah, but tiny little facts, sort of toilet books rather than encyclopedias.
I don't know. I think the internet has meant that people they can get that information and knowledge much more easily.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to go to a library, look up a book in the Dewey Decimal System, and dig it out, and then find the page. You can just kind of type in, Humpty Dumpty, and you can find the answer.
But
so I'm giving away secrets.
I mean, they're not. Yes, it's not how it was done.
Research. You just type in Humpty Dumpty. That's all they do.
I did a master's degree on that, Martin.
So you've broken the chart, top 10.
Smashed it.
In iTunes.
Right up, and then left it, and it survived without us.
And then went back out. You didn't like. You
it's
went in there.
Alright. It's just nicer in the team.
It's a bit gauche to be in the top 10, isn't it? It's a bit too ostentatious.
Let's let everyone else have a go. We had our time.
Well, what's next? For the podcast?
Well, we've been approached to write an Answer Me This book.
Oh, what?
So Answer Me This book. Wow. A collection of questions and answers. So hopefully we're going to work on that in the next few months.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting. We're meeting lots of people who want to meet us, and we'll see what happens really. But lots more questions and answers.
And what about a film that you joked about?
A film?
That's on the way. Spielberg's interested. Brad Pitt's cast to play me.
Play you?
Yeah.
Who would play you?
I think it's going to be Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a bit out there.
And
I'd really like it to be Kiefer Sutherland.
But it's going to be Kate Blanchett. So.
She's working on the beard. She's
Sutherland,
very method,
so
she's actually taking androgens.
Well, it has been an absolute pleasure.
It's been a joy.
And to meet you.
I look forward to listening to your podcast more and more.
Thank you.
And much success to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.